What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Talking Blue. I'm Matthew Mooney. It's a solo episode again today. Luca's still not here, but I wanted to recap the Giants Jets pre. So the MetLife Bowl happened 2 nights ago. It was an awful showing by the Giants. They lost 32-24. Just they didn't look great. However, there were a few positives. So I want to talk about a few guys who I thought looked good. Well, four guys who looked good this preseason. Well, especially like this game, and a few guys who didn't look too good at all, do well at all. So, well, not didn't do well at all, but just struggled. So I want to talk about the guys who I thought did well. Linebacker Isaiah Simmons, I thought looked very impressive. I know he didn't see the field that much, but he got a pressure on Aaron Rodgers early in the first quarter and almost got a sack on him. That would have been nice if he was able to finish and and get a sack on him in his first game as a Giant, but just didn't happen. Whatever. So I do think he's going to be very good with the Giants this season. Second, I want to talk about wide receiver Jalen Hyatt. Although he did have a bit of an underwhelming preseason, he did look good in the last game. I know he didn't get any receptions. He didn't have a lot of balls thrown to him, but I'm excited for him because he went up against Sauce Gardner twice, and both times he went up against him, he burnt him. So the first time he got past him and the ball was overthrown, so he couldn't catch it. The second time he beat him to the play, but Sauce Gardner, obviously, if you guys seen the play, he jumped up and knocked the ball out of the air, which was one hell of a play by him. So, if he wasn't there, I think Hyatt could have possibly caught it if Daniel Jones was the quarterback there, but no, we had Tyrod Taylor. Second, I want to talk about linebacker Carter Coughlin, who I know he's probably not going to make the roster. Cuts happen tomorrow, and we'll see what happens. But in the preseason, he played a lot and he impressed. And he had two tackles last game, and they were both tackles for losses. I don't know exactly how many yards they lost, but the other team, the Jets, lost when he made the tackles. But he looked impressive. Hopefully, he could make the roster. He's really good on special teams, and it's good to have him. Now I want to talk about wideout David Sills. He is a preseason performer from the Giants roster, as you guys may or may not know, but he unfortunately might not make the roster this season due to the depth at wide receiver. But he had this season. He had a really good game versus the Jets, 9 targets and 81 yards. So he gets targeted a lot. He had a few great catches. One of them was overturned, which turned to be an incomplete pass, which I kind of disagree on. It was a very close call. It could really go either way, but I gotta say that should have been a catch though. But whatever, it is what it is. Now I want to talk about the guys who are on the decline in the preseason. Starting out with corner Amani Oruwariye, he had a very bad game versus the Jets. He had a DPI. He allowed a touchdown and several big plays in his direction, and just was allowing a lot of receptions, couldn't really stop anyone. It was a bad game. He had a bad game. Hopefully he steps his game up in the regular season and improves, but we'll see what happens. Next, I want to talk about quarterback Tyrod Taylor. He just had an awful game, couldn't really throw the ball. Overthrew Jalen Hyatt a few times, just not a very accurate passer. I think Tommy DeVito is the better quarterback than him. And last year in the preseason, I thought David Webb should have gotten the second string spot over him. But, he's the second string quarterback. They signed him to have that role, and they're not going to give it up for anyone else. Next, I want to talk about offensive tackle Matt Parrott, who is on the decline. So if you're listening to this, sorry. By any means, I do not hate you at all. I met Matt Parrott recently at Play by Play Sports Broadcasting Camp. I'll put a link to that vlog in the description down below. So go check that out, guys. But he had a rough game. Just a lot of holding penalties against him in the preseason. Struggled. No, yeah, it was rough for him. Hopefully, he can possibly be a second string offensive tackler or third string. offensive tackle. I'm rooting for the guy. You know, we'll see. So yeah, it was really just not a great performance, as I was saying earlier. None of the starters played. I know I said I thought most of the starters were going to play for the Giants, but turns out they weren't. I was kind of surprised, but honestly, it's fine. They should get rest for game 1 of the season versus Dallas. That's honestly a much more important game. Preseason means nothing. You know, all 3 preseason games are officially over now. The backyard scrimmages are done. Now we go off to war. So there will be a lot of content coming out throughout the season. We're going to try to get stuff out every week for you guys, but it's going to be a fun season. I'm really excited for you guys to see what we have planned out. You're going to love it. Yeah. So Bobby McCain got injured. A lot of guys got injured this season on this games. I think 7 injuries. I don't remember all of them. Chris Myrick broke his hand. He's done for the season. Bryce Ford Wheaton tore his ACL and he's done for the season. You know, there was a few other guys. I know I said Bobby McCain had a concussion. I think he'll be back for week 1 of the season because concussions take normally a week to heal or like just under a week to heal. So he should be fine for game 1 of the season. I think he'll be ready. I remember Daniel Bellinger had a concussion right after the preseason game versus the Jets, and he was ready to go week 1 of the season. But yeah, I think he'll have enough time to recover for the game. So yeah, that was really it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, share this video with a few friends, and yeah, see you guys later. Let's go Giants.